Welcome to another edition of A Strange New Pod. I am your captain and host, Julian Brown, alongside the best bridge crew this side of Tanagra, Rear Admiral Erik, our brilliant stream manager and best undercover miner, Lieutenant Hawk, who would rock the shit out of Khan's necklace, Ensign Erin, who was definitely eyeing that case of Chateau Picard, or I think Captain Riker had some Romulan ale aboard the Titan. I think. And then filling in for Ensign Brittany tonight, Commander Girafe, who even after security would eventually find out she was keeping Giant Spock's skeleton in Cargo Bay 12, would still have the nerve to tell Jean-Luc, listen to me.
Listen to me.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Glory to you in your houses. How are you doing, guys? Welcome to another show.
I think that one was better.
Yeah. Fuck.
It was better of the two openings that we did for the people listening.
Well, you know what's brilliant about Star Trek? It could just be a time loop. I can keep both in the show and just say we got Star Trek and it's a time loop. So there we go.
Or if we were the MCU, that was just one variant, and now we're in another universe.
Oh, damn.
The possibilities.
Aaron getting all lokified.
Well, it seems that Star Trek is in the Star Wars universe as well, based on this episode.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, if we're talking about
it's all connected.
There's got to be infinite possibilities.
Wait,
so
did I miss a Star Wars reference in this?
Yeah, there's an
Star
X-wing
Trek
in this.
And Star Wars.
Oh, no
and
way.
MCU and us all exist in the same
Damn it,
universe.
I've watched this
somewhere.
episode 3 times that I didn't see it.
You're gonna have to watch it again.
Okay, guys. This week it is Lower Decks, a house full of twos. That's my best try at the Tanagrin.
Oh, you know what? There isn't a Star Wars.
Tamarian.
That was What If. What If has an X-wing in it?
Oh, good job.
My brain.
Oh no.
Pride.
Too much consumption.
Tamarian, that was my best at Tamarian. It's the second episode of season 2 of the animated series Star Trek Lower Decks. And we take a look at all the shenanigans on board both the Cerritos and the Titan this week. We get both ships. We get some Captain Freeman. We get some Captain Riker. We get some Chateau Picard. We get some Romulan ale. We got all the booze. Boimler screaming.
Salt monsters.
A lot. Salt monsters. We have a great Easter egg hunt tonight. That's a fact. Plus, guys, this is a big day for Star Trek birthdays. Jonathan Frakes, who obviously is very prominent in this episode, Captain William T. Riker, also Thomas Riker, also purveyor of pizzas. Diana Mulder, who, if you don't know, played, or is it Mulder? It might be Mulder, who played Dr. Pulaski in season 2 of TNG. Lover or hater, she was there. And then, of course...
And in TOS.
And in TOS, that is correct. And then, of course, the great bird of the galaxy, Mr. Gene Roddenberry, who would be celebrating his centennial this year if he was still with us. So 100 years. We're going to talk about him in just a little bit. But before we do, we have to give thanks to our Patreon Collective members at the Ready Room level and above. Ensign Erin, hit me.
All right,
or warp
thank
me,
you.
I should say.
Warp me. Simon Stager, Jeff Reeve, Mariah Gossett, Spotted Giraffe, Rob, Jen Stein, Tina Alexander, Joe Saporito, Noe Santos, Kangwi, JD, Takako Nagumo, Kara Kennedy, Mark, Fernanda Nogales, and SMK.
Woo! Thank you, guys.
I did it, you guys. That was my best one.
Perfectly. That was your best one. That was your
we
best one.
We love you, patrons.
Do it again.
No.
Speaking of our patrons, I want to say briefly thank you to Simon Staker, who just upped his pledge from the Cerritos Lounge to 10 forward. Thank you so much. You rock. To find out more about our Patreon Collective, guys, and how to join, just head over to strangenewpod.com. We have a fancy new link tree as well in our Twitter and Instagram. Thanks to Spotted Giraffe, who is a rock star. And just click on the Join the Collective tab. Now, before we get to the strange new loop, I just have to say, Spotted Giraffe has been on our show quite a bit for a very long time. And I think instead of just calling her a guest host at this point, like she's not on every week, right? But I think we can call her like our permanent fill-in host of Strange New Pod. She's like a substitute teacher. She fills in.
I'm the
She's
sub.
our substitute co-host.
For the Enterprise D, she's our sub teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I'm gonna mispronounce every single one of your names.
Just don't ever be in the kindergarten during any simulations, because that would be bad news bears. But I think that's a good promotion, right? Like, you're with us so much these days. You're on Drunk Space 9 every week. I think
every week. Are we doing episodes
Every
I
week?
don't know about?
Did I say Drunk Space 9 every week? It's just because I want it to be Drunk Space 9 every
Well,
week.
it's coming up. I mean,
It
we're
is.
doing that. What is it? Next Friday?
Yeah, next Friday. Next
Friday.
Friday is Drunk Space 9. We don't have an episode yet, but we do have a drink ready. So
Mariners Margaritas.
Yep. We'll figure out the episode this week. So, guys, let's get into. Actually, I'm sorry. Before that, we are running a quick contest on our Discord. If you're a member there, so we're giving away a copy of the latest Star Trek Picard novel, which is called Rogue Elements, which is focused on Captain Rios. And that's written by John Jackson Miller, who is actually going to be joining us on our show next week. Just guys, go to podchaser.com, find our podcast, A Strange New Pod, leave us a 5-star review and just proof that you did so, and you'll be entered. And we'll do the drawing next Wednesday and announce it on the live show. So
Free stuff.
Yeah.
last week, I also said that we're going to be running a couple of fun contests during season 2 of Lower Decks for giveaways of more of our friendship stickers. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be week 1. We're going to do secret keywords each episode that you'll get at the end of each episode. But if you get that keyword and listen through and email us the keyword at strangenewpod@gmail.com, you'll be entered, and we will do those drawings every week as well. So wait near the end of the show or anytime during the show for that keyword. It could come up at any time, and
You
it'll
got
be
that
fun.
friendship sticker with you, Julian, just to show.
I
Friendship.
I'm not prepared. Hold on.
I'm here to call things out. No, it's a really cool sticker, and it says friendship, just like they did in Lower Decks, like Giraffe just said. Yay, there it is.
Friendship.
Bring it closer.
Friendship.
Can't see it.
If I bring it closer, it's not gonna do its thing.
Oh.
Because of my,
Well-
yeah, there we go.
Check out our Instagram and Patreon
Yeah,
and
all
all
that.
that shit. It'll be there.
Sci-Fi Haven Gaming asks if we're doing a physical ebook or audiobook copy. It is a physical hardcover copy of the book. I have it in hand. It is waiting for you to win. There you go.
Yeah.
And we will ship to Canada and wherever you live. So yeah. Okay, guys, let's get into the strange new loop. And it's not really much of a strange new loop this week, but we have to honor the late great Gene Roddenberry, who without him we would not have Star Trek and this show and everything that we love, and a lot of other sci-fi, to be honest. So much was spawned from Star Trek, so we have to talk about him. And we ask, what episode of Star Trek or which film for you encompasses Gene's vision? And whoever wants to go ahead, Eric. You're ready
Yes,
to go.
I'm picking from TNG Measure of a Man, because if that doesn't speak to how we treat other people in our own time, like it's a timeless episode because it speaks to race, it speaks to class, speaks to androids, but it just, it's everything that embodies what he believed in and equality and what makes a person and the equality in all of that.
Well said. Who else? Giraffe, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna choose a stupid one. You ready?
Yep.
Go for it.
Stupid is good. Stupid is as stupid does, as far as Scump
But I have a good reason. Okay, I'm gonna choose the Lorelei signal in the animated series because first of all, do you have an idea why? No.
I've never watched a single episode of the animated series.
Oh, we're gonna do a watch along.
So first, because Uhura becomes the captain of the ship. because
Hell
all the
yeah.
men are incapacitated and has a whole security team only of women, which is badass. And then there's like a laser fight and stuff. It's cool. So I chose this one because the position of women in track, even if there are many sexist episodes, we know it's true. But tonight after the show, we'll rewatch Where No Man Has Gone Before, where women wear pants and like real uniforms, you know?
I watched that with you, and that was my comment. Was like, oh shit.
Pants.
Yeah.
And
But
no,
it's,
let's
if you're
not
a woman,
forget.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, let's not forget number one in the original pilot too. That we're gonna meet again in Strange New World.
Yeah.
So that's my episode.
It's a great choice. It's a great choice, even though I've never seen animated series, which I'll be watching tonight after the show.
It's a great choice. I've never seen it.
It's a great choice. I've never seen it. As we go through our choices, guys, as always, Twitch, please leave us your comments as well. Who's got the next one?
I'll go
Hawk,
next.
hit it.
Okay, so not necessarily the best film all around. I'm thinking Star Trek, the motion picture. Very flawed, but the ending in that, where they discover that V'ger is actually a piece of a probe that they sent out, and that actually made contact with a new form of life and was returned back. I think that kind of encompassed Gene's vision in that a piece that what we can do as a a collective, and that can reach out and find something extraordinary and make contact. I think that was the vision.
Good choice.
I
Erin.
think for me, it's going to be the first episodes of Voyager Caretaker, and it's not because there are these amazing episodes, but I saw that I saw every episode first run from that first episode because my mom loves Star Trek, and it was the first time as a young person I'd seen like all of the female characters are in positions of power, and no one's like, I love TNG and we watched some of that when I was younger too, but there's a lot of jazzercise and talking about dudes while eating chocolate, and it was the first time that the women were in charge, and they said what they meant, and there wasn't someone talking over them, and it wasn't perfect, but that, I think, those 7 years really informed my childhood, and it was like, oh, women can be badasses, so that was important to me, and I liked it.
Nice.
Excellent.
Very good. I like it. I liked reading. Karen and I, whenever the kids are being quiet in the car, have been reading the audiobook or listening to the audiobook of the autobiography of Catherine Janeway, and just hearing her like recount, like in the future, like looking back on the whole caretaker incident is really cool. So for me, it's an easy one, and I'm gonna go with Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country.
That was my second choice.
Yeah, I mean, one, it's my favorite Trek film. Two, it deals with the harsh reality that even though Gene's vision, and this is one of the last things he worked on, if he worked on it at all, he died, I think, during the filming of this. Despite the fact that this is supposed to be like a advanced culture now where things like racism and xenophobia don't exist anymore, they still do, and this movie shows that. They show this old crew's like hatred still towards the Klingons, and how throughout this film that evolves to the end where you have Captain Kirk standing next to the High Chancellor of the Klingon Empire at this peace, this peace camp where it almost got derailed again, and she almost got assassinated. Like, it could have just destabilized all of the Federation, and instead you had Kirk put away all his shit, even though the Klingons killed his son, and he has this deep hatred to going all the way back to the original series to come together to build this peace. And I absolutely love this film, and I think is 100% Gene's vision of Star Trek.
Can I add on to that?
Yes.
So that film was also the first time I ever saw an Asian person at the top of a ship, like leading people. Like you didn't see that in the 80s or 90s. You didn't see a captain that was of Asian descent. And for Sulu to be such a badass at the end, I was just like, this is perfect as a young Asian kid growing up. Like, breaking those boundaries all the time is just so Star Trek.
Yeah, he has one of those great lines in that film. It's like, "Well, fly her apart then," and he's just like such a boss. It's so amazing. And while Rowlett actually brings up a good point, he didn't die during filming because he saw this and didn't like it. Gene Roddenberry did not like Undiscovered Country, which doesn't make a lot of sense in my book. But Gene, listen, we all have high things to say about Gene, but we have also said on this show, Gene Roddenberry was not without his issues, and like anybody, he was a flawed man, and his vision got away from him a little bit. But at the same time, he was brilliant, and he brought us Star Trek. And I think a lot of the whatever happened near the end of his life outweighs, the good. I mean, the good it outweighs, that stuff near the end. So
It's kind of fitting, maybe. I mean, because the message is that of that film is that no matter how much we think we actually know or how smart we think we are, there's always more to learn.
yeah. Agreed. Anything else on Gene Roddenberry as we move on into Lower Decks? Who knows how he'd feel about Lower Decks? We'll never know. And that's maybe a good thing.
I think it's better. I think it's better.
You don't think he'd like it?
I think there'd be things that he likes, and I think there'd be a lot that he hated. But at the same time, Star Trek, I think, like, even though it was his baby, like, wasn't for him. And like, as we're all Star Trek fans here from all different levels of the fandom, and we all enjoy it, I think that says more than enough. So, speaking of episode 2, Kayshon, his eyes open. Let's get into the review. If you're new to joining the live stream, what we do when we do our episodes review is we do a roundtable fashion, and we are going to go in the order of Spotted Giraffe, Hawk, Erin, Erik, then myself. Spotted Giraffe, take it away. Your thoughts on this episode.
I loved it. Okay. Okay, wait, I'm gonna temper this. I was like, I'm gonna wear black tonight for the stream because I'm grieving. It's been hard. Okay, they killed giant Spock, and I don't know if I can like work over my grief in such a short amount of time. Okay. Well, yeah, I love it just for the relentless TOS references. First of all, I think Erin had to watch so many TOS episodes because of this.
Yeah, we watched this episode together, and the whole time Giraffe was like, oh my God! Like, that was the whole episode.
I have to interject there too, because I too was doing the very same thing. And at one point, Karen slapped my leg and was like, shh. I'm like, I can't help it. All of the things like, in the room. I can't.
Pose. But yeah, it's bittersweet because as some of you may know, Rob and myself have been hashtag Big Spock supremacy for some time, thinking that Big Spock will finally, the infinite Vulcan will finally show up in Lower Deck and freak everybody out. Well, he did, but he's dead.
Wouldn't he have been so old though?
Well, Spock Prime is alive in this timeline, but giants don't live very long. So
I know that. I was thinking
like
when... big dogs, they live like 9 years. Yeah. So giant Spock
Did you just compare giant Spock to a big dog?
Yeah, listen. He's like a Great Dane.
Listen, Giraffe. Giant Spock's skeleton or fossils were in there with dinosaur fossils. So, I mean,
I like that they left the shirt on him, though. They were like, we want people to know when they see this exhibit that it's big fucking Spock.
Yeah. Anything else before we move on this episode? You were like all about the giant Spock.
Yes.
Literally the only reason you even wanted to guest host tonight. Yeah. I know you by now. Hawk, you're up, bud.
Another great episode for this season to start. It was really well balanced in that, like, we had like, a couple different storylines in that, obviously like Mariner in that, and the whole thing with Jet and how she doesn't like change or in the dynamic of her little group. And, getting to see what a sonic shower on full blast looks like.
And it was like Starship Troopers. They have group showers for the lower decks.
Didn't they talk about this in like a previous movie or something about how the lower, like the ensigns and stuff would have group showers, and then everyone else had like the higher ranks
rooms and nice showers. Yeah.
Oh, sure. They're they're the dregs and that. They only have bunks and that, so obviously they don't have their own showers and that. Boimler's entire time on the Titan was just great in that, seeing him like just so
screaming,
just mismatched against this crew of like alphas that Riker has surrounded himself with, and Boimler
Yeah, I twitch.
And just like the cringing, like holding onto his seat for dear life as they're all celebrating on the bridge, and he's just like, I don't like it.
He does not. He's not enjoying his time on the Titan, and that there's too much fighting, not enough exploration, and he really lets that, and he gains a new nickname, which is fantastic.
Enterprise.
Enterprise.
Real quick on Twitch, I have to say, this is talking about Giant Spock. Talix goes, the greatest Dane.
The big boy.
He's a big
Giant
boy.
Spock, the greatest Dane. I like that.
They killed my big boy.
There you go. There's another shirt idea, right? Giant Spock, the greatest
I
Dane.
feel like
He was
Giant
a good
Spock
boy.
needs to be a T-shirt. I feel like there's a cool like museum sort of setup, and like you remember Sue the dinosaur? I feel like you get a Giant Spock version of that.
Yeah.
I want a giant spot in an airport. Come on.
Yeah, see, wouldn't that be great?
Hawk, anything else on this episode?
This was with our Easter egg hunt for each episode, and that this one got to be a little trying in that, because a couple of things I picked out of everybody's seen already in that, so thankfully my brother just sent me a few little tidbits in that I'm going to use for when we get to the Easter egg portion.
Ooh, nice. I like it. It. Cool.
Great second episode of the season and that, and everybody has a lot of great episodes to look forward to.
Erin, you're up.
I mean, I liked everything about this episode. I like the beginning where you see the captain is waiting for her evaluation report, so she's all going to try to be hands off, which sort of doesn't work out for her in this one.
She's not that kind of captain.
No, she's not. And and also, like, can we, like, that's the thing with women, by the way. You're too bossy, like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if that happens to Girafe to you, but that's happened to me in my life. Like, no, have you seen the guys around here? Way more bossy. But anyway, I like that storyline because it really plays into how chaotic it gets down on the planet with the crew. I love the sonic shower thing is like such a fucking standout. It's so funny. Their noses are bleeding and everything.
It's so bad.
Yeah, Mariner's just willing to take it to like the 10th degree, and Tendi and Rutherford are just like, fuck this. And I loved my favorite line of the whole thing. I wrote it down at the end when they check in with the captain. She's like, how's it going down there? And she holds up the puppet and she's like, Kayshon, when he became a puppet? And she's like, what the hell?
I literally had Kayshon when he became a puppet written down in my notes, just because it's like
so funny.
And the way Noelle Wells just like delivers that line is so dry and beautiful. It's amazing.
Yeah. And we were talking about this in the pre-show, but one of the things I wish Paramount would do would be to hire me as their merchandising person, because how many missed opportunities for great merchandising? Like the plate thing, that feels like, okay, fine, we're getting on it. But come on, guys, that puppet should be out there on the website today. I just like, come on, it's so beautiful. Like, make it happen.
MC Frodo says, I'm going to make that puppet.
Yeah.
Yes, and also a giant Spock like museum little thing with the bones. That would be so good. Oh my God.
I just can't. I have to tell y'all, I can't wait to get my plate. I'm just gonna put it like right in the center of each show. It's just gonna be here as a
How
shrine
much was
to
the
Tom
plate?
Peck. You want to know how much that plate was?
Yes, I do.
$25 fucking dollars.
That was it? Wait, was it one per person?
No, I think you can still pre-order.
Can we get another one and put it do it as a giveaway?
Okay, so I thought long and hard. Now you're getting everybody's hopes up on the show. I thought no, it is a really good idea, but the problem with it is that it is fragile. And the off chance that the USPS fucks that up and breaks it, and then you have like a mess on your hands, and
Plate puzzle.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but it's so cool.
Hey, listen, if people want to risk it, I'm not going to send them another one. They risk getting a broken Tom Paris plate.
If you get a broken one, we're going to send you a friendship sticker to compensate.
And my Rellite is wondering how long before the puppet is sold in the Star Trek store. I say not very soon, because they are dropping the ball on merchandise.
Paramount, call me. I have so many ideas.
Listen to me.
There it is.
Listen to her. Listen to me.
I do want to go back to another thing NY Rellite said real quick. It said, based on the way quote unquote, and we're going to talk about this in a few minutes, William Boimler acted, wondering if we'll do an enemy within reveal showing he's a dark version. I would.
Oh
fucking
yeah,
love
that's what they're
that.
setting up, right?
Totally got that. Like, he is-
100%.
yeah, the way he kind of held back in that, and Boimler steps forward. I knew this. Like, this guy's the
Yeah.
darker one.
I'm gonna go into my thoughts on this episode real quick. The museum, like, oh shit, Eric, I skipped Eric. I'm so sorry. I mixed up your whole Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country thing. My bad. Go, buddy. I'm sorry. Look at that sad pouty face. He's a good boy.
Hit me with a fun fact.
You want me to hit you with a fun fact? I could hit you with a fun fact. Here we go.
Fun fact time.
So one of my favorite guilty pleasures is the National Treasure movies. So this this episode
Yes.
was just like, fuck yes, you did it. Yeah, you bastard, you did it. So I love both the A plot and the B plot. Obviously I love the whole museum of random awesome Easter eggs. The little rivalry between Mariner and dude guy who I can't remember anymore because he's like shown up twice on the show. And especially in that plot line, I love that at the end they decided to go with what Tendi and Rutherford would have done because they're the smart ones in that situation. And the fact that they're like, well, we didn't want to interrupt. You guys are leading. And I was like, you guys, I love you too so much. The Boimler plot the whole episode felt like a Next Generation episode. I don't know if you guys had that feel too.
Yeah.
Like it felt very much like that. And the fact that Riker's doing the awesome away mission seems very, very TNG. And we talked about this pretty much every time we talk about Lower Decks, but we say how it's written by people who love Star Trek and it's for fans that love Star Trek. And Boimler's speech at the end, when he's talking about why he joined the Federation, was such a perfect love letter to Star Trek. And it's one of the best things they've ever done. And then you get to hear him scream multiple times, which made it even better. So
That scream.
this is probably one of my favorite episodes this season of the 5 we've seen. Like, I
Aw.
love this one
Nice.
so much.
It's a really good episode.
The cat or the crew on the Titan, the crew he went on that mission with. We were talking about this. There's that female member, and she's got the pink hair.
Mhm.
We were talking about like, what is
What
her
is she?
species? Yeah, like it's a question.
What's her
Anybody
deal?
have a good answer?
Well, I know that after reading the Titan book and knowing that James Swallow has some some of his bridge crew that he has, I'm wondering if that's one of like the James Swallow Titan bridge characters from his Titan books and who's also in the I can't remember the name of Dark something. I have it right there, but I
Darth
can't see
Vader?
the title.
Dark
No.
Veil.
Dark Veil, thank you. But it might be they might have actually integrated some of the Titan book bridge crew into this episode. I was gonna watch the end credits to see, and I totally forgot. So that's shame on me. But
Well,
she's awesome.
that's the
Somebody-
curiosity.
Maybe somebody on Twitch knows. Come on.
Tell us, tell us.
I was about to read your comment, but you're on the show, so you should just say it out
Are you
loud. because
commenting
it's
No, it
on
was
brilliant.
not.
this show?
Yeah, I'm multitasking. You know me. No. MC was saying, where is it? I'm waiting for William to show up and dating Boimler's ex from
Oh.
Cupid's errant arrow, and I was like,
Oh,
That's perfect.
shit.
yes, entirely,
Oh,
totally.
Barbara.
I see it. Barbara is going down. I'm telling you
Oh.
Or
this.
Jennifer. That would make Mariner
Yo,
say, "Move,
oh my god!
Jennifer."
If Boimler dated Jennifer, oh.
I would love that.
I really enjoyed this episode. You know it's good when I already said that. Like I got slapped by my wife for like pointing out every single reference in the museum. You know, this isn't going to get talked about a lot this episode, but one of my favorite arcs was actually Carol and Jack like sitting on the bridge, kind of twiddling their thumbs with her being hands off, and it's just so good because it's without spoiling too much about what we're going to see in the next couple of episodes. Like this is something that we're going to be exploring about her this season. Like she wants more, right? Like she wants to maybe get on one of those big capital ships, but like she does have kind of a rambunctious crew, and some of these, I don't want to call them idiots because we love them and they're not idiots, but you know, B team holding her back a little bit. So I like that this episode started to explore that. I actually wish that I always forget the therapist's names, but Paul F. Tompkins' character had mentioned so because he was in this episode, but like I wish he would have mentioned something to Carol about like, well, if you do this and do this and like you eat a pie because he always talks about food, like
Mhm.
you
It's
could
food
really
now.
like calm down a little bit. But I really like the fact that she tried her damnedest to be hands off because she wants to get to the next step, and then the minute she sees Kayshon, she just loses her mind. I loved that. I love that. And then the Titan, listen, like Will, there he is, little Will. I love Will Riker. He's my favorite Star Trek character. Giraffe
Oh,
made
where'd you
these,
get
by
that
the
cute
way.
little Will
I
from?
just said Giraffe made these. They're
She
amazing.
made
Oh,
me
you
the
mean like
Picard one I've got somewhere.
little
Yeah,
Bolana?
little
Yeah.
Bolana.
I'm crafty.
But man, I love him. I absolutely love Will Riker. I loved seeing more Titan. I listen, Boimler, even though Boimler was scared, like he saved the day at the end of the episode, right? And you gotta love that. And he probably would still be on the Titan if he didn't get Will Riker, because Boimler got Will Riker.
Well, I think
Nobody's
that's
paying
the-
attention because everybody's trying to fix the little the
yeah.
link crew on the mic now.
Well,
I started a
think
trend.
the thing I like about Boimler in this episode is that he, I think he's supposed to be like the every person. Like if one of us was on the ship, I'm not saying we'd all be like, but I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the most badass, this and that. But even though he's afraid and like sometimes ill-suited to what he's doing, he still does the right thing. Even though he's afraid, he overcomes his fear. And he's also not he's afraid to say what he thinks, but he still says it. Like he gives that beautiful speech you talk about. And I think that is like the best in Starfleet. So Boimler really is the best in Starfleet. Like he's better than he knows. And I think that's the whole idea of Star Trek, right? Like overcome all of those things and be the best you can be.
Well,
Like,
let's.
he
Go
would
ahead,
have
Hawk.
he would have gotten left behind if he hadn't figured out a way in that and gotten back on the shuttlecraft and made it back to the ship. They would have left him behind. He would have been Thomas Riker.
He would have become a miner.
With his
Would have
soft
started a
hands.
movement.
Yeah. We'll go out of order since we're already talking about it. Let's talk about Boimler, right? Because listen, like we get this awesome adventure on board the Titan, which listen, we've already talked about. Listen to me. We already talked about how amazing the animation is this season. Like that budget got, definitely got a raise for this. The Titan looked good. Everyone on the bridge looked good. We get to see Boims go undercover. And he's like, I'm a true mining man, just like you. He's like, look how soft your hands are, dude. But
He's
listen,
so
like,
bad at that.
But he is so the epitome of Starfleet, right? That whole speech he makes about how the Enterprise is awesome because the Titan's bridge crew is knocking the Enterprise. And they're like, oh yeah, they're concertos and blah 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 blah. And he's like, I'd kill for a concerto. Like I would love to do this. Like I came to Starfleet because I want to explore. How do we feel about one, getting his new nickname because of that Enterprise, which I hope sticks. I really hope it sticks. And then I guess a little bit more like, are you guys cool with the way he came back, like making it a transporter incident? Like that's how they explain it.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, they're setting some shit up, right? Like you said, we haven't seen all the episodes, but I'm just saying, I think that's what's going to happen.
I wonder
So,
if
I'm
sorry.
It would have been hacky for him to just say, "Oh, I'm just not happy here," and that I'm going to take a demotion back to Ensign and go back to the Cerritos where all my friends, and that the fact that he got Thomas Reichard basically, and
the enemy within.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because that is definitely the dark Boimler in that. It was perfect in that. Just to mix it up as far as we knew he was going to come back to the Cerritos at some point, and that we just didn't know how. There was no better way they could have sent him back.
You guys, what if they do an episode where it's evil Boimler and not evil Riker, but
Thomas Riker, yeah.
Maquis.
Tom Riker.
Yes,
gets out of
they should do that. They should.
They break him out of jail because all the Maquis are in jail. So Boimler breaks Maquis, Riker out of jail, or he breaks himself out, and then they like go off together and they start their own adventure. I don't know.
They go
Sure.
off and have.
I think
Giraffe?
I think it's great to have done that to Boimler because he's the character that we imagine has no bad in him. has no, like terrible side of him. And in the enemy within, the whole story is that they get separated and one gets all the good and one gets all the bad. So all the bad that is in Boimler, what it is exactly? What's going to happen? Like he's gonna become captain instead of the captain? Like what? He's gonna make more locks than everybody? So I think it's a fun plot device. Like now they're up to something. There's gonna be something fun too.
I mean, listen, the fact that he accepts the Romulan ale, like immediately, like, you like Romulan ale? He's like, oh, I can learn. Oh, I love that.
Ready to become an alcoholic. That's my kind of guy. Get in the bar, Boimler.
This episode also reintroduced us to Jet, who we see a lot of in the Barbara Gordon episode. And then him and Mariner definitely like butt heads, right? Because they're the two like not I was about to say male. They are definitely not two males. They're two alphas though, like two like big personalities that butt heads. How do we feel about like their interactions, and then how do we feel about like the way that at the end, because this is the one thing that bothered me about this episode, he was kind of just like unceremoniously like dismissed when Boimler came back, and I thought that was actually very
They're setting shit up.
I thought that was very un-Gene Roddenberry. Like I did not like.
But it happens, right? Like, no, go ahead, Girafe.
What does she say at the beginning? Like, I know I'm supposed to not have, like, when Jennifer arrives, it's like, I hate this Andorian. I'm not supposed to have any, help me, any hatred for somebody or something like that.
Conflict.
I hate conflict, but I hate that Andorian. I think they opened the door. Let's go.
Oh, maybe they're setting up like the evil B team. So it's going to be Jennifer.
Thank you.
What's his name again?
Jet.
Yeah, I feel bad. I keep forgetting.
Oh, it's the J's.
Jet. It could also be Kayshon, because I don't know if he's gonna show back up again. I don't know. The evil B
interpersonal
Jennifer,
conflict.
Jet, mean Boimler, and then one more person. Oh shit.
Oh, I like it. It's gonna be a Cerritos coup. Oh man. I like it.
They're not supposed to have any interpersonal conflict. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you so much.
But it did
filling
feel
up the blanks.
Like he was sad. I don't think that's enough to drive someone into like badness, but I think that's real. Sometimes it happens. Like they're excited their friend's back. It is shitty that they just like pieced out, but I don't know. Let's see what happens.
I like it. Let's see what happens. I didn't like the way that Boimler just came in and took his seat. That's the only little thing about this episode that I was like, even though they're setting things up.
I believe Boimler would do that. He just wants to be in with the crowd.
I know.
And
we'll
he's
see what
not
happens.
normal Boimler. He's not normal Boimler.
No,
you have to keep this
he's
in
the
mind.
original. He's the original.
So
do we not know who the original is?
No.
Oh wait,
okay.
you think that's the bad Boimler?
Okay, no, listen to me. So, in the enemy within, because I'm going this way. I'm going the enemy within way, not the Tom Riker way. So in the enemy within, they get separated, but both of them are wrong because one is too nice, has no cunning, no agency, no grit, and the other one is evil because he wants everything and he's taking everything. So I think that the Boimler they get in the Cerritos is not right either. He's too weak. He's gonna be bending too much to Mariner. I think it's going to go this way.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll wait and see. We will wait and see. Finally, guys, we're introduced to the Cerritos' new security officer, Kayshon, who is a Tamarian. Oh man, how awesome was this? Like, and we already talked about the plushie. Like, just make the fucking plushie. But Kayshon, his eyes open.
That used to be your on our Discord. You had Julian as the walls fell. So how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it? I fucking loved it. And I love that. Like, I love that you could kind of like get the kinks with the universal translator. Like he was trying to say things and they wouldn't come out right. And my favorite part about this whole thing is the end of the episode. I forget exactly what he says to the girl, but he uses like his normal language and she's just like, ugh, and walks away. And he's just like, well, shocking when the walls fell, and downs his martini. I'm like, that's what I want in a Tamarian Starfleet officer. I loved it.
Anybody else?
Agreed. It was wonderful.
That's it?
I hope he shows up. Like, he was great. I want him to be a regular addition. I think he's
And he was
great.
still alive. He wasn't a puppet anymore.
Nope.
Agree.
I just want to buy the puppet.
We
I just
all
wanna
want
buy
the
the puppet.
damn puppet. Give us the puppet. Paramount. We can help you with the merchandising.
We didn't even get to see him that much in the episode. That's what makes it even worse. I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
agree.
we only saw 5 episodes, so maybe he's in the back half a little bit more too. He's in like the episodes. He's just
Why are
kinda
you
not,
saying
like-
that? He could be in the next 2 episodes.
He is in the next 2 episodes. That's not a spoiler. He's just a character.
All right.
Dude,
Dude, what?
What?
We're trying to keep this box really small
what box?
of spoilers.
It's not a spoiler. He's not dead. He's a recurring character on the show.
It's the box of magic. That's why I'm so glad I can just make up stuff now. I don't know. I have no idea.
You should just start making up crazy shit, Giraffe.
You know what else I
Wild
really liked about
triple
Kayshon
chase, baby.
to spin this? I like that he was the first one, so that if they do, like, that's why the universal translator was broken, right? Because it was still trying to learn it, his intricacies. Like,
Federation standard, he called it.
yeah, like, and I like that Jet knew it enough that he could, give a little bit.
Help a little bit.
Yeah, I thought that was a great little.
Oh, and I
play.
love when Mara was like more like suck up a Tanaga.
Well, and it shows that he's a competent guy. Like, Jet's obviously good. He's similar to Mariner, but like, I mean, we've all met those people. It's like, you're so similar. You're like, no, you gotta go. This is my zone.
All right. Before I get accused of spoiling things that aren't spoilers, let's get into our Easter egg. What is an Easter
Those
egg?
Easter eggs, I love them.
I love
little
Easter eggs.
little witches.
Yes, little
I
witches.
don't know.
The
I
Hague.
don't hear the H, so whatever. And
No.
I add H's everywhere. So
There you go.
whatever.
Let's get into our Easter egg hunt of Kayshon, his eyes open. I mean, I have like a giant list, but Giraffe, like, you were the giant Spock lady, so I'll let you go first. We'll go in our
I'm
same.
the giant Spock lady.
That is your new nickname, the giant Spock lady. It's like
Thank you.
having
Weird
it's like
nickname.
it's like being a cat lady, except you're a giant Spock lady.
Hey,
She has
Hey,
6 giant
hey.
Spocks in her apartment right now.
hey. Erin was texting me about climbing over giant Spock, so I'm sorry. I'm not the worst one
You
here.
should have seen the return comment.
All right. What else did you notice in this episode?
So there's like a lot of things you can pose. So should I start by the Terran Empire flag?
Flag.
First thing, yeah,
Oh.
flag. The Picard painting. I don't remember the episode.
Yes.
The painting he paints.
Mhm.
It's there too. The Soul Demon.
It's all vampire. Yes.
Soul Vampire. What else? Help me. I'm not
Well,
what giant
we'll
Spock.
go around.
Lincoln.
Who's next? Yep.
Dead
Hawk.
Lincoln.
Yep. Hawk.
So-
What else did you pick up on?
Like I said, I picked up on like just a few surface ones that we've already kind of covered, like the box of Chateau Picard and that. And I was thinking, oh my god, I gotta watch this again. Anyways, thanks to my brother, he picked out a few good ones in that. In one of the hanging little display boxes in that, we see Uhura's uniform.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Yep. If you notice over the shoulder of the tentacle guy in that, we see a Cottiscot board.
Oh shit! I'm just gonna
Yes,
do
there
this
is
the
a
whole
Cottis
time.
cot board. Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sorry, Mariner. She was adjusting something onto a little Starfleet head in that, and I couldn't make out what it was.
It's
Oh,
the
it
game.
was
The
The
game.
game. The
The
game. I had
game.
that on my
The
list
game.
as well. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one more thing. Apparently, we may be dipping into some sort of multiverse here in that, because I swear to God, we see Marty McFly's
Fly's shoes.
Yes. Okay.
Shoes. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I like it.
I have to rewatch this, man.
Yeah.
Mine is
Uh,
Kalis's sex helmet thing. That was like, whoa.
I made the best gif of that today, by the way.
I can't wait.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna make a whole post tomorrow about kinks and not kink shaming.
I mean, listen, if you have I think that
Oh, kink
Tendy's
shaming.
like, was smart, safe sex. Like, I was like, yeah, Tendy, you go for that.
Erik.
They had a Trident scanner from the original series, in there. They had a giant unicorn, which I thought was wonderful.
What?
They had a unicorn on display. They also had a pink tribble, which I thought was cute. We said the Terran thing already. Let me see. They had Data's painting of Spot.
Yes.
In one of
Aw.
I did miss
Yeah.
that.
God, I
Yeah.
need to go back and pause this. I didn't
I
do
saw
that.
I saw the yeah.
They had the ice knives from Enterprise. That's the Andorian dueling weapon. When he got
Hold
his-
on a second, Eric.
Learpass. They have
Uh,
the Learpass from Amok Time.
Yep.
Amok
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Time,
MC
Riverside.
says, "Now I hope Giant Spock died riding a giant unicorn."
Yes.
Aw.
Yes. Can we see that? Can we get that as a episode, like a flashback episode?
Any more?
I'm sure there was a bunch of others. I just didn't write them down.
All right, I got them. A couple that we missed. Odo's bucket is in there.
Really?
I saw a
Yeah.
note
didn't
about
see
that.
Odo's bucket is in there. An Earth probe from one of the episodes, not the Voyage Home one, but there is an Earth probe. I forget from which movie or series is in there. Various weapons from all the series. We already said the game. There's a different Starfleet uniform other than Uhura's.
The gold
Khan's
one?
neck. Yes. I mentioned at the top of the show because Hawk would rock the shit out of it. Khan's necklace is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously Kalis' sex helmet. Abraham Lincoln's in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I already said Chateau Picard as well.
Did
So
the-
those
And
are
I
those
want
ones.
to add.
Yeah.
I want to add, and I'm not sure because I didn't have time today to actually go through it, but I think the statue Mariner is like playing with
Mhm.
is actually Apollo, and it's a wink to Who Mourns Adonais. But I have
yeah.
to check. I'm not sure.
Sorry,
There-
I forgot one more. And it's great because it's Jonathan Frakes' birthday and it's a Riker episode. Riker's trombone is in
Yeah, I
there.
was gonna
Yep.
say his
Yeah.
Yes,
trombone is in
Riker's
there.
trombone was there.
Yes.
There was one more I thought you were gonna say because it's from your favorite movie, Insurrection, and
Oh,
it's
no.
it's Worf's
God.
isomagnetic disintegrator, which is his bazooka thing.
Oh. I was wondering what the giant bazooka thing was
Yeah.
that she was putting down. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Listen, I'm sure
man.
there's like 6 YouTube videos already that's like 28 Easter eggs you missed from this episode of Star Trek Lower
Well, we
Decks.
have one from Sci-Fi Gaming saying in Riker's Ready Room there was a Ryzen Horga in there because of course there was.
Of course there is.
Of course there
there was.
He would display
Did you notice all
that.
his vinyl jazz records as well?
Yes. Yeah.
At the beginning of the episode, Riker says "Attack Pattern Delta," and that's the same phrase from Empire Strikes Back when they attack the walkers.
So there is a Star Wars reference in
So
there.
Riker
there's that
is
one.
such a hipster, you guys. Like, oh my
like
god.
between the Trek references in this week, What If,
Mhm.
and the Star Wars references in this episode.
There's
what
a
is going on?
universe. We're there together.
Do you guys know? Do you guys know that every time I cook dinner, I tell I shouldn't do it because she'll do it, but the smart home device, I tell her to play jazz, and my favorite channel to cook to is Ultimate Jazz. I'm totally Will Riker. I even have the beard.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Get up, play Nightbird.
Well, you
Nightbird is a
know,
wonderful song.
With Alexa, you can talk to it like it is the
Computer.
minus. Well, mine responds to that command. That's why I said Alexa and not
Nice.
that. But
I don't say that because it's the same here.
yeah, but I think they need to add 5, 6, 7, 8 to the programmable things. I guess I could add it myself, but I'm gonna say that 5, 6, 7, 8 and make it play that channel. I think that's such a good idea.
Jay just said that
Star
you set
Trek.
off his.
I could
You just set
Paramount,
off his.
I could
his-
help you set up this official routine. Call me.
There's
Aaron
so
really
many
wants a
Star
job at
Trek
Paramount.
routine. Yeah.
I would be so
Get
good at this.
that Trek money.
All right,
Listen,
guys.
I got good
Get it.
ideas and I know how to get it done.
Speaking of getting
By
that,
the way, just
ahead.
one thing because that's a cool reference. The Salt Vampire is from Twitch. Sorry, the Salt Vampire is also a reference to Squire of Gothos because Trelane had it in his collection. So they're like
Mhm.
There you go.
references into references.
Wait, what if and Lower Decks were both about collections this week? That's so
Yeah.
weird. I mean, Giraffe said it, but now my brain is getting there. I'm like, whoa.
it's all good. It's all good. Rating of this episode out of 5 changeling buckets.
Wait, that's your metric? You didn't go with the sex helmet?
I made
Or
the beef out of the
Nightbirds?
sex helmet. Okay, 5 Nightbirds.
Yeah.
There, 5 Nightbirds.
5 out of 5, man. Listen, Lower Decks has been kicking it out of the park since season 1, and I'm still entertained.
I will go 4.5 because I don't want anybody thinking that we're just, shills for CBS and Paramount and that.
But we
So,
are.
yeah, we secretly are. Yeah. 4.5 changeling buckets. I like that measure.
I will give it a 5 out of 5 as well because they reference Chet Baker. Like, who does that? Like, like one of my favorite jazz songs just randomly shows up in a track episode. Awesome.
I'm gonna give 5 out of 5 too because
Just for
First of
giant
all-
Spock.
climbing all over the giant Spock, baby.
5 out of 5 giant Spock skeletons in your house hanging above your living room.
Like I get most of the references, and I'm sure there's so many I don't see, and there's still like so many I don't see, but it's
Mhm.
still super entertaining for somebody that doesn't know Trek.
Yeah.
And I think that's art because you don't feel left out even if you don't get it. And then don't watch it with me because I'm like,
Well, that actually made it more fun for me because even there are TOS references I don't get because I haven't gone through it all yet. But watching it with you made it like I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed it even more with a friend. And I think that says a lot because I think it could be intimidating, but it's not.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm not giving a perfect score yet for the season. I will too give it a 4.5 out of 5. It was really good. The jet stuff kind of threw me off a little bit at the end, kind of like last week with some of the Tendi stuff. But I still absolutely loved it. I'm saving my 5 out of 5 for a very specific episode. But I think we already talked about that last week.
We know.
stop it.
I'm not spoiling anything. Hey, you listened to last week's
Yeah,
episode.
you
know
guys
what we're
remember
talking
last
about.
week when we talked about that first episode? Man, that was so good.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Let's get into our subspace poll and mailbag. I am going to hand it over to
There are some scores on Twitch.
Oh,
if
thank
I
you for
may.
pointing those out. Yes, would you like to read the scores on Twitch?
Sure. So I can't because I don't know if I should say people name or not. SF Haven is saying 4.7 out of 5. Need the 47 reference. And MC says 10 out of 5, 5 regular and 5 transporter clones.
I like it. way to ruin the surprise there, Jay, about my
I
score.
love the Twitch. The interactivity is fun.
Anybody else that wants to rate, I'll come back and read them. So if you haven't given me a rating yet and you're watching and you want to rate the episode, let me know. But I am going to get into I'm going to do that over. I'm going to get into the subspace poll and mailbag. Lieutenant Uhura, take it away.
Hailing frequencies are open.
Who wants to read our subspace poll this week?
Girafe.
You want Giraffe? All
I
right.
do.
Do it. You
I
do.
can. Okay. I was just told that my accent is not bad, so now I feel very confident.
That's why we want you to read it. You
Yes.
sound so nice.
So we asked the Twitter collective what they thought about Kayshon, his eyes open. See, I add H's.
That was very good. though.
Eyes open. 69%. I'm a dumbass. Sorry. Nice. Said
69%
Kayshon,
climbed right over that giant Spock skeleton, just climbed it like a tiger.
hey, she's sending me the weirdest messages. Can you somebody please
that.
stop that?
In a way that it was not meant. They literally climbed it. You dirty
Okay.
giraffe.
I am. Let me read the poll. So 69% said Kayshon is heartful. 21%, less fun than 69, but still good, right? Said Kayshon is eyes wide. And 3% said Kayshon is eyes tired. Aww. And 7% said Kayshon, his dagger drawn. I don't agree. Who are the 7% people? Send me a message.
Very
Hey,
aggressive.
Talk.
Now do it in
Right,
French.
Right?
In French.
Yes. Oui, okay. 69% a dit. I cannot translate that. What is this?
3% said Kayshon with the croissant in his mouth.
Mm.
That's not French, it's just English.
I know. I tried.
I was all ready for Giraffe's French, and Erin had to go and fuck it up.
No,
right?
Giraffe, bring us back to the French.
Say croissant instead.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm retiring from the podcast.
I think that's a good
game, guys.
idea. You can't really go any higher than tonight. Eric, can you take it away with our mailbag?
Okie dokie. Fernando wrote,
Fun fact, though.
I cracked that leave Data alone. He just wants to feel. I found the way they found to send Boimler back to the Cerritos was very clever, and all the interactions aboard Titan were great. But I'm biased because I would serve under Riker gladly, right underneath. I would too.
Do you feel like it's weird they demoted him though? Like that's the one part I would be like, we're sending you back because it's too weird to have two of you here, but also a demotion. Like that's the part I'd be like, but demotion? No.
Well, if they
See,
kept this promotion, wouldn't he have to do something else? Like they'd have to move people around, and they
No,
don't
yeah,
want to
but
do that.
like
Not only that.
for
Sorry.
the story it makes sense, but
Yeah.
Oh,
But
go
not only that, but if they had sent him back with his promotion and that, he'd technically be Mariner Superior.
That would have been
Mhm.
amazing, though.
That would have been really good.
I want it. I want it so bad.
I think that could have been a good story. I just think from like if IRL, I would be like, but no, I don't get demoted for being a badass and coming back to life.
Dude,
anyway,
he saved himself twice.
right?
Twice.
I'd be like, I'm staying a lieutenant. But anyway, SMK wrote, my favorite reference Easter egg laugh out loud moment was computer, play Nightbird. But my favorite bit in the episode was Kalis's fornication helmet. Mine too, SMK. I thought that was hilarious. Because it had unnecessary spikes and ornamentation like the sword of Kalis from DS9 on top of the obvious jokes they were making. It might not have been unnecessary. Klingons kind of like that like pleasure pain thing. So
Oh yeah, they do.
Big time.
Like,
And-
which
Break
Kalis
the
is it, though?
clavicle. Remember, breaking the clavicle is like tradition during a
Mhm.
marriage.
yeah,
Fair.
I watched too much Voyager.
I know, right?
I think it's the real Kalis, right? I think the real Kalis would have or as what's his name, who we will not mention anymore from Discovery, when he was Volk says Kalish. He adds that SH to the end.
Yeah.
Kalish.
Gosh.
Hawk.
Jeff Reeve, one of our patron collective members, actually used email for the mailbag and wrote, "Hey guys, just wanted to say I love the podcast. First off, I left you a review on iTunes and it showed up as Andy
Aw.
Kaufman."
What?
That
Last
was
week.
yeah, last week I noted Andy Kaufman. I love him. I know he's still alive. That was a screen name I used a long time ago, and I guess I never changed it. When I heard you read it out on the last podcast, it made me laugh because I thought I was having an old person moment. You were not. Andy,
That's great.
We were.
We were. It was us.
I know. Anyways, I just watched the second Lower Decks episode and loved the new security officer. I wouldn't be upset at all if they had a revolving door of security chiefs like Spinal Tap drummers.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
I agree with what Brittany said, that the people who make Lower Decks love Star Trek from a very deep place. Hope the Kelpians show up sometime.
Yes.
There was one reference from episode 1 that I absolutely loved. When Jennifer interrupts Mariner's program, Mariner says, "I know we aren't supposed to have interpersonal conflict, but we were just talking about that."
Yeah.
I think this is a great reference to how the writers on early TNG struggle with Roddenberry's edict that in the future we would have evolved past conflict and that people on the crew shouldn't disagree with each other. Anyways, thanks for all the great work and keep trekking. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. You rock. Thank you for that email too. It was lovely. Yeah, Andy Kaufman's alive and well.
And he's still the undisputed intergender wrestling
Yeah.
champion of all time.
That's right. Guys, that's gonna do it for our episode this week. We have a really big show, an awesome show planned for you next week. We'll be formatting things a little bit differently. John Jackson Miller, who wrote the latest Star Trek Picard novel, which is called Rogue Elements, he's going to join the show to talk about that new book. Really excited to talk to him. So we'll open the show live to kind of do that segment with him. That's actually going to be released as a bonus episode. And then once that interview is over, it'll be business as usual, be episode 44 as we review Lower Decks season 2, episode 3, aptly titled "We'll Always Have Tom Paris. And if you haven't figured it out yet, this is the Tom Paris episode.
What?
And
Spoilers.
we're having a watch along after.
I'm getting there. So big props to Spotted Giraffe, who came up with tonight's entertainment following the pod. Directly following this, not directly, maybe let's say 10:45 p.m. we will be watching the Captain Kirk pilot, not the Captain Pike pilot, the second Star Trek pilot, Where No Man Has Gone Before. And like she said, if you're brave enough, what's the name of the episode following that from the animated series?
The Lorelei Signal.
The Lorelei Signal. So we have a fun night of entertainment planned for you on our Discord following the pod. We will see you next week for a jam-packed show. For Spotted Giraffe, for Erin, for Erik, for Huck, I am Julian. I say live long and prosper. Good night, Majram.
Thanks for beaming into our podcast today. If you want to keep the hailing frequencies open, you can subscribe on Apple and Google Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Like what you hear? Put in a good word with Starfleet and leave us a 5-star review.